news coming in. Asaduddin Owaisi has written to Union Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad on the Triple Talaq law. On the day the cabinet cleared the Triple Talaq bill, Owaisi has written to the Union Law Minister. It's a piece of breaking news that's coming in here on Republic TV. Owaisi, Asaduddin Owaisi of the All India Majlis Muslimin, writing to the centre, writing to the Union Law Minister against the Triple Talaq bill. We're getting more details on that, but we do know now that Asaduddin Owaisi has written against the Triple Talaq bill, which has been cleared by the cabinet today, to Union Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. We have all the details of what exactly he's written to Ravi Shankar Prasad. We'll get you more on that. But for now, we're breaking the story. Opposition to the Triple Talaq bill coming in the form of Asaduddin Owaisi, who has written to the Union Law Minister. Keep in mind, it's this hashtag back Triple Talaq law is the big debate tonight at 10 p.m. with Arnab Goswami as well. And we have the latest update on that front, and that is Asaduddin Owaisi, who was written on the very same day that the Union Cabinet has cleared the Triple Talaq bill, essentially taking it one step forward from making it a law and making Triple Talaq a criminal offence. And now opposition, keep in mind, the clergy has been cagey about the Triple Talaq bill. They haven't backed it. The latest person to not back it is Asaduddin Owaisi, who has written to the Union Law Minister. We have Republic TV's executive editor, Abhishek Kapoor, set to join us with more details on what exactly Asaduddin Owaisi has said in his letter to the Union Law Minister. If we have Abhishek Kapoor, then we can go across to him and ask him all the details. Right, but for now, the big story that's breaking right now is Owaisi writing to the centre against the Triple Talaq bill. We have Republic TV's executive editor Abhishek Kapoor joining us with that breaking story. Abhishek Kapoor, Asaduddin Owaisi writing to the Union Law Minister, the latest to join the line against the Triple Talaq bill.
Well, Krishna, yes, and he calls this move of the government regrettable. He says that using an important value such as gender justice, an attempt is being made by the government to push political agenda, political goals. He further says that no broad consultations have been done and that there is no sound legal basis for the introduction of such legislation. There is absolutely no chance of significant legal policy questions being addressed or discussed if this is the manner in which the law is to be introduced. So essentially, Asaduddin Owaisi, with this letter that he has written to Union Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad, is taking a position not just seems against the principle under which the Supreme Court passed its judgment a few months back, but also against the stand that the government has taken both in the court and now in Parliament with this legislation that is being introduced, Krishna.
Right, and this on the very day, Abhishek, that the Union Cabinet has cleared the Triple Talaq bill, and the very day when many members of the clergy have been cagey about this bill. Abhishek, Asaduddin Owaisi has written to the Union Law Minister on the very day that the Union Cabinet has cleared the bill, and it's not just Asaduddin Owaisi, is joining the list of the clergy members who have been cagey about this bill becoming a law.
Well, Krishna, let me just go further into this letter, which is like 7 pages, and he goes into detail of why he's taking this position, that this is not going to help the cause of gender justice and that it is more a political posturing by the government. Now, I'm just kind of giving you an idea as to under what heads he's taking this position. One, he has given a background of the criminalization of Triple Talaq, basically the whole meandering path through which the matter reached the Supreme Court. Then he says that while the Honorable Supreme Court has held that the pronouncement of Triple Talaq is unconstitutional, it is unclear what the legal effect of such pronouncement would be. Now, in other words, basically, while he is questioning the legal validity of the Supreme Court judgment, what the government is doing to bring in legal validity to that verdict, he is questioning that. So there is an element of contradiction in his own letter. But anyway, going further, he, under the header of policy implications, he's differentiating between criminal law and civil law, and then goes on to say, it must be reiterated that while talaq-e-bidat is unlawful and bad in law, other forms of contracting and dissolving Muslim marriages continue to be legally valid and enforceable. This, despite the central government's plea in the Supreme Court. So essentially, he's harping on some infirmities of the implications of the verdict, and then going on to demolish the need for the law that is being brought by the government, that was cleared by the Union Cabinet today. Now, this was written only 3 days in advance. So it seems that Asaduddin Owaisi had some kind of inkling that this is going to happen, that this winter session of Parliament, the government might introduce a law to offset that, to evade that, and to kind of take a position before the bill comes in the Parliament. He has written this letter in which he takes a strong position against bringing in a law which he believes is going to affect the customs and traditions of the Muslim community in India. Ultimately, in the last para, he says that moreover, it must be clarified at the outset as to how this law seeks to enforce imprisonment and provision of maintenance in tandem. It is a fair assumption to make that an individual who is imprisoned cannot provide maintenance for the victim. So basically, what he is doing is splitting certain nuances in the law and trying to show that perhaps what the government has designed does not serve the purposes of gender justice. It complicates them further from where he sees them. We have to remember, Krishna, he is someone who is part of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board.
Yes,
Abhishek. AIMPLB was one of the respondents in the Shaira Bano petition. They had made all these points before the Supreme Court. Obviously, these points were rejected. That is why the Supreme Court came to the conclusion that it came to. And subsequent to that, Parliament, only to provide constitutional validity to the Supreme Court verdict. And also, Krishna, remember that despite the Supreme Court verdict, cases after cases, reports after reports are coming of talaq-e-bidat being practiced still across the country. And that is why, to provide constitutional validity, to provide law enforcement agencies with procedures and methods to deal with it, this law is being brought by the government. Asaduddin Owaisi obviously taking a position against it. In some ways, he also might be pandering to his core constituency, but this 7-page letter comes just a few days before the Union Cabinet decided to bring that law.